and just type money, just type money, just type money right there on the chat section. If you can hear me loud and clear, just for free, and just type money right there on the chat section. Just type money, just type money, just type money. I'm super excited for the session that we are about to have, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to everyone. If you can hear me loud and clear, and I am indeed perfectly audible, just feel free and just type money. But if you can't hear me, just feel free and just type a 0 right there, or I'm cutting, just type a 0. We definitely gonna have a very exciting session today, ladies and gentlemen. Just feel free, and just type money, 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 money. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening to everyone. My name is Vuyo Sitembu. I am the head trader at Dunamis FX, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our live free Forex webinar, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are ready for the information that we are about to share during this session, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you are also ready to take that information and actually use it practically, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, we're not just only going to teach you on this session, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to also trade live with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure a lot of you are asking yourselves that, yes, your name is Vuyo, but who is this right here behind me, which is Dunamis FX? Who is Dunamis FX? So Dunamis FX, ladies and gentlemen, is basically an educational institution that trades live with its clients and also teaches its clients on how to actually navigate and trade the financial markets live on a day-to-day basis, ladies and gentlemen. Gone are the days whereby you only needed to read the information and then that is it. Gone are those days, ladies and gentlemen. At Dunamis FX, we trade live with you. We teach you also how to trade, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope we are all excited for this session. I always say that there is not a lot of things that you need in order to become a profitable trader. The first thing that you need, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that you need is good internet connection and a device that you can connect from. The fact that you are on this session, ladies and gentlemen, it means that you have good internet connection, and the device that you have is able to facilitate the tools needed to become a profitable trader. The third thing, ladies and gentlemen, that you actually need is a reliable broker. Is a reliable broker that is not only trusted by us. Okay, you need a broker that's not only trusted by us, but then you need a broker that's transparent. You need a broker that is basically regulated, not just only by the FSCA in South Africa, but a broker that is basically multi-regulated all over the world. Can we all just type right there on the chat section, Prime XPT? Just feel free and just type Prime XPT, ladies and gentlemen. This is the broker that we as Dunamis FX, we trust this broker, but later on we're gonna dive deep into who Prime XPT and why do we trust Prime XPT with our money, ladies and gentlemen. But the main agenda of today is for us to teach you how to make money and also to make money with you. I always say it is good to learn and grasp information, but I am hungry now. I always say that it is good to learn and grasp information, but we are hungry now. We're going to teach you in this session on how to download money, to actually make money while you sleep, to turn your own cell phone, ladies and gentlemen, into a smartphone, a phone that actually downloads money for you. And we're going to share those skills on this session, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I hand over to Mr. Mvuyana, ladies and gentlemen, to actually give us a bit of education and also give us a bit of the practical side of trading. In other words, if you have been trading, and you've been struggling, this session is for you. We're gonna trade right here. If you are a first-time trader, you've never traded before, this session is for you. We're gonna teach you how to trade, and we're gonna show you live proven results, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we do that, I want to double check from you in terms of where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from? Just feel free and just comment there on the chat section in terms of where are you joining us from. Are you joining us from Durban? Are you joining us from Cape Town? Are you joining us from Bloemfontein? Are you joining us from Johannesburg? Are you joining us from the Eastern Cape? Where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from? I can see Cape Town. I can see Cape Town. I can see Eastern Cape, Umtata, Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Durban. Where are you joining us from, ladies and gentlemen? Where are you joining us from? I can see King Williamstown. I can see Eastern Cape, Durban, Johannesburg. Where are you joining us from? Just feel free, and just comment there with the city that you are joining us from. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can see PMB, Johannesburg, Botford West in the Western Cape, ladies and gentlemen, Kokstad in KZN, Queenstown. I can see right there. I can see Port Elizabeth. Welcome. Now, a little bit of a quick background on who I am and what I do, ladies and gentlemen, on a day-to-day basis. My name is Vuyo, ladies and gentlemen. I've been trading for the past 8 years, ladies and gentlemen, but I haven't been so profitable for the past 8 years. I only started making money like 4 years ago. So I spent 4 years in my trading career, ladies and gentlemen, losing money. A 2-hour conversation changed my life. A practical conversation that I got from this man changed my life, ladies and gentlemen. Can we just type right there, Mr. TP? Mr. TP, Mr. TP. A conversation that changed my life. A conversation that changed my life. I went through all the books. I went through all the YouTube videos at the first 4 years of my trading career, but I was not making money. I was breaking even. I was blowing money. I was trying to actually make money, but then I was giving all my money away to the markets. And the 2-hour conversation changed my life, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, I'm not alone, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not alone on this session. I am with Mr. Lakhe Mvuyana right there, ladies and gentlemen. Can we just type TP? Can we just type Mr. TP? The reason why we call him Mr. TP is simply because he takes profit more than he hits stop loss. Now, those that understand our trading terms, it means that he makes more money than he actually loses money. What do I mean by that? He does lose money, but he makes more money than the money that he actually loses, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what we are here to teach you. That is what we are here to give to you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, without me wasting any time, if you are ready, just feel free and just type, let's go. If you're ready for Mr. Mvuyana, ladies and gentlemen, remember I said that I started trading 8 years ago. I've been in this industry for 8 years, but I started making money 4 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. I sat down with this man, ladies and gentlemen. We had a bit of a 2-hour conversation, but that conversation was practical, and my whole changing career turned just like that. A lot of our clients within our trading community can tell you the same thing, that they were once part of one of these sessions whereby we spoke to them, we traded live with them. Today, on a day-to-day basis, they making money, relaxing there at home. They are able to live 100% on trading. They are also able to live while trading and working at the same time. In other words, they are able to add onto their portfolio. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing that I can tell you, trading is real. Trading is real, ladies and gentlemen. Trading is real, as you are about to see on this session. Now, without me wasting any time, ladies and gentlemen, I did say that information is very important, but the stomach is hungry right now. I'm sure everybody right here wants to make money. I'm sure everybody right here wants to make money. If you want to make money, just type let's go. If you want to be trading with us, just type let's go. We trade on a day-to-day basis. We don't just send you signals. We don't just drop you a text, but we trade live with you on a day-to-day basis. Just feel free and just type let's go before I hand over to Mr. Mvuyana right there. Over to you, leadership. Over to you. Greetings, greetings, leadership. Uh, greetings, 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 greetings. Help us, leadership. We just wanna get the practical side of trading. Some of us right here don't understand what trading is. Some of us right here have been trading for quite some time, but we are struggling. We think that there is a secret, or there is something that is not, that is hidden from, that
Yes,
is
sir.
preventing us to actually make money in the financial markets. I just need you, leadership, to give us the information and also give us the practical side, and also tell us why do you trust the broker that we use as Dunamis FX, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you, leadership. Over to you, leadership. Over to you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tembo. Thank you very much. Just to check with everyone, ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, just type let's go on the comment section for me. Just type let's go on the comment section. You could be doing something far greater this evening. You know, it's a holiday. Happy Heritage Day to everyone. As you can see, I am wearing umpele. So I see a let's go right there. I see let's go. I see let's go. I see let's go. I see let's go. First question I want to 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 get onto it would be brokerage parts, right? In which I'm gonna make sense to to everyone, where does the broker comes in, you know. I want to take this step by step, Mr. Temple, and make sure that everyone get the proper knowledge, everyone get the proper skill, and everyone get to leave tonight's session knowing exactly what is the financial market, knowing exactly what are derivatives, and also knowing
Yes, sir.
exactly what we are really doing right there. Just to also double check with everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Um, just to also double check, ladies and gentlemen. Um, those who are saying, Mr. Mvuyana, I've been trading, I've been making money, I am killing it. I am killing it. I'm making a big movement when it comes to um this thing we call trading. Just type number one. And for everyone who are saying, Mr. Brianna, I've been trying this thing. I've been losing money, making money, losing money, making money. I don't even know what's happening. I don't even know what's is the thing that I'm actually getting wrong. I really want to get the skill. Just type number two for me there. Just type number two for me there. And you are, if you are my favorite person, you're saying, Mr. Brianna, I don't even know what trading is. This is basically the first time I want to learn what trading is. I normally see a lot of people making money in this thing we call the financial market. I'm definitely ready for you. I'm definitely ready for you. Great stuff. I see your number ones. I see number twos right there. Okay, perfect, 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 perfect. Which means we do have people who have been trying out this thing we call trading. We do have people who are basically here to polish a bit of skill, and we do have a lot of people who are saying this is basically our first time, and we want to get to understand what we are happening. We have people from Eastern Cape, we have people from Western Cape, we have the people from Gauteng in this session. We have someone from Zimbabwe right there. Greetings to everyone. Thank you very much for just tuning into this session. Thank you very much for just tuning into this session. Now, let me just dive straight to the business of the day. I don't want to speak much about myself. My name is Lakhe Mvuyana. I've been trading for the past a couple of years. I started trading back in 2012. Here I am right now, still standing, still trading, and still making money in this thing we call the financial markets. Now, I want to dive straight to the business of the day because I am not here to speak about myself. I'm here to speak about this thing we call trading. I'm here to speak about this thing we call the financial market. Let's just dive straight to it. If you're ready for us to go, if you are ready for us to go, just type let's go on the comments. And also, if you can see my screen, if you can see my screen, just type a Y for yes on the comments. Just type a Y for yes on the comments. We're just gonna learn exactly what is trading, just to get to understand this thing we call trading. I'm just gonna draw a line right there in the middle. Um, and I would like us to really understand the things that we have in trading. Just make sure you grab a pen and paper. Make sure you are fully invested to what we are doing right now. I'm just gonna type an S at the top and put a P at the bottom. I'm just explaining these things quickly right now. Now, a lot of people don't really understand what is trading. A lot of people don't really get to see what trading. A lot of people don't get to have time and really get the proper skill and the proper knowledge of trading. We have a crisis in South Africa where we have a lot of people who call themselves traders but don't even know what trading is. And my job today is to basically make sure that you understand what trading is. So the P stands for the primary markets, the S stands for the secondary markets. Now, there are things that I want us to first understand, right? In every market, could be the primary market, could be the could be the secondary market. In every market, there is a willing buyer and there is a willing seller. In other words, I cannot sell something without anyone buying it, or I cannot buy something without anyone selling it. That is the first point I want us to understand. Now, that is the first point I really want us to really understand. Point number two, in every market, there's something we call the marketplace. In every market, there's something called the marketplace. If I want to go and buy clothes, I need to go to a shopping mall. I need to go to a center. I need to go to a store. That is a marketplace. A marketplace, that's where the buyers and sellers meet. That's where buyers and sellers meet, right? Now, number three, what I want us to also understand is every market you can have a middleman that's gonna go and buy things for you. In other words, I can send a child to go and buy bread on my behalf. I can send someone to buy something on my behalf. So so this middleman also it is very important because also understanding this middleman, it is very important as well because this middleman can either do two things. This middleman can either do two things. This middleman could either take your money and go. This middleman could either take your money and run away with your money, or this middleman could go and buy something for you and come back with it. Now, this middleman in this case, we're calling it a broker. We're calling this middleman a broker. But what I want us to now understand as we are getting to all these different markets is one, when it's come to the primary market, when it comes to the primary market, the price of the product is fixed, right? The price of the product is fixed. What does that mean? It means if bread costs 100 rand, I need to have 100 rand in order for me to buy the bread. I'm not sure if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that part makes sense. Now, if bread costs 100 rand, I need to have 100 rand to buy bread. If bread costs 20 rand, I need to have 20 rand to buy bread. In other words, the price of the product or the price of an instrument, it is fixed. If you're with me, just type a Y for yes. If you're with me, just type a Y for yes. I don't want to leave anyone behind because where we are going very far in understanding this thing we call the market. Great stuff. I see Y for yes. I see those Y for yes. I see those Y for yes. I see those Y for yes. That's great. That's great. That's great. Now, let me make a simple example in this case. So let's say this is Lakhe, right? Right here. Lakhe is a willing buyer that I want us to understand, right? Lakhe want to buy a brand new BMW, right? I want to buy a brand new BMW. Uh, and this BMW cost 1 million rand, right? This BMW cost 1 million rand, right? So BMW is a willing seller, right? So what I want us to really understand in this case is I cannot go and buy this BMW without me having money. I need to have money in order for me to buy this BMW. I need to have funds in order for me to buy this BMW. Meaning, if this BMW cost 1 million rand, if this BMW cost 1 million, I need to have 1 million rand in order for me to buy this BMW. And if you understand this, you will then understand that it is very important to understand that in the primary market, when we are buying a product or when we are buying something, we are just buying for the use of it. In other words, if I'm buying a brand new BMW, I'm just buying this BMW just to drive it around and basically show off to everyone. But one thing I want us to understand is in the primary market, there is this misunderstanding, or should I say, there is this behavior that we are mostly doing is in the primary markets, most of us we are buying high and selling low. Most of us, what we are doing is we are buying high and we are selling low. But what I want us to now do going forward is I want us to buy low and sell high. I want us to basically buy low and sell high. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Let's say I buy this BMW, right? Let's say I buy this BMW. If I drive this BMW, oh, let me say this. When you are buying a BMW, you're not only buying the vehicle or for the use of it, but when you are buying this BMW, you are also buying the risk value that this BMW comes with, right? What do I mean by that? If the dealership keeps on holding on to this BMW and no one is buying this brand new car, the value of this car is going to drop, right? And when no one is buying this car, BMW is holding on to the risk value of this car. So they want to make sure that they transfer this risk value to someone else, which is why this car need to leave this storeroom. This car needs to leave our dealership very soon. In other words, Lakhe need to come and buy this car. So when Lakhe buy this car, not only buying the car, but also the risk value that this car comes with. In other words, as Lakhe buys this car, the risk value also is being transferred to Lakhe. Because the minute, let me ask this question. If I drive, if I've now bought this car and I drive this car out of the dealership, what's going to happen to the price value? I've now bought this car and I drive it, and then I'll take this car and I drive it out of the dealership. What's going to happen to the price value? I see Brian Smith there saying depreciate. Okay. What about the rest of us? What about the rest of us? What about the rest of us? If I now drive this car out of the dealership, what's going to happen to the price value? Just type for me right there on the comments. And just definitely type for me right there on the comment section. Now, I really want us to understand that now the minute I drive this car out of a dealership, I now lose its value, or this car now starts to lose value, right? This car now starts to lose value. When this car now loses value, when this car now starts to lose value, I am losing money. Why? It's because I bought high and the price keeps on coming down. In other words, I'm not making money. I am now losing money. I am now losing money. So the price of this vehicle is going to drop, right? Which is one thing I want us to really understand is this is what we've been doing for the rest of our life in the primary market. Because as time goes by, when come a time for you to now sell this car, when come a time for you to now sell this car, you're not gonna sell it at a higher price. You're now gonna sell it at a very low price, which is what we have been doing all of our life. We've been buying high and selling low. But what I want us to do right now, going forward, is I want us to basically buy low and sell high. But let me just make this thing make sense, right? So the primary market is the market we are used to. It is the primary market we are used to, and it's rare for us to now change what is happening in the primary market. But what we can do is just a matter of adjusting what is happening, right? Now, what really happens in the secondary market? Now, the minute I sign a contract of this vehicle, and within this contract, this 1 million is written at the top. Now, this is the value of the car, right? This is the value of the car. This car cost 1 million rand. So the value of this car cost 1 million rand. In other words, I need to have this 1 million rand in order for me to have this car. So what happens now in the secondary market? In the secondary market, now this value or this contract is being transferred or is being derived from the primary market into the secondary market, from the primary market into the secondary market. Now, in the secondary market, I'm not buying and selling the actual car, but what I'm buying and selling is the risk value of this car. In other words, we said earlier on, as soon as Lakhe drives this car out of a dealership, the minute the market now starts to drop, the market now starts to drop. Now, what are we really doing in the secondary market? Now, in the secondary market, we are buying and we are selling the movement value. We are buying and we are selling the movement value. In other words, for every movement the market moves, it's either I'm making something or I am losing something, which is why in the secondary market, we are buying and selling the movement value, the exchange rates, some people put it, and to most of us who have traded, we are saying we are buying and selling pips in the market. What are pips? Pips simply stand for price in points, price in points, meaning for every movement the market makes, either I'm making something or I'm losing something. Now, remember, we said in the primary market, the price is fixed. Now, when it's come to the secondary market, the price, it is not fixed. In other words, one can come and say, per every movement, I'm making 10 rand. One can come and say, per every movement, I am making 100 rand. One can come and say, per every movement, I am making 5 rand, which is why you see a lot of people buying and selling the same charts, but they have different balances in their account, right? You see a lot of people buying and selling Nasdaq. You see a lot of people buying and selling these instruments, but they have different accounts. This is what we mean. This is what we mean. If you are still with me, if you are still with me, just type number one in the comments. If not, just type zero. I don't want to lose anyone. I don't want to lose anyone. I don't want to leave anyone behind. If you are still with me, just type one. If not, just type zero. Now, in the secondary market, remember, in the primary market, it's easier for us to go to the marketplace. It is easier for us to now go to the marketplace. I can just simply take a taxi and go to a mall. I can simply drive my car and go. Anyway, it's easier for us to go to a marketplace. However, when it comes to the secondary market now, it's a bit complicated in order for us to get into it's a bit now complicated in order for us to go to the marketplace. So, what do I now need in order for me to get to the marketplace? Look at this. This is me as a trader. This is the middleman, and this is the marketplace, right? So let me just say MP, which is the marketplace. Let's say this is now a broker, which is basically the middleman, and this is me, right? What I want in this case, I want to trade in the actual market, right? I want to trade in the actual market, but I fully understand that in every market, there is a willing buyer and there is a willing seller. In other words, when I press buy, someone is selling on the other side. If I press sell, someone is also buying on the other side. But let's just get to understand what is happening right here. So now I cannot see, I cannot see what is happening in the marketplace. However, what the broker does or what the middleman does, ladies and gentlemen, the middleman is able to show me what is happening in the actual market. And also, if I execute a trade, the broker is going to take that trade and, and execute on my behalf when it comes to the actual market, right? When it comes to the actual market. Now, what I want us to really understand is the middleman, it is very important. The middleman is very important because I said earlier on, a middleman could either go to the marketplace, buy whatever he's supposed to buy, and you make money, right? Or a market or a middleman can either take your money and run away with your money, right? Which is what we are facing. But now, why is it important for us to have a very reliable middleman or to have a very reliable broker? One, let's just put Prime XPT. This is Prime XPT, right? So we now have Prime Forex uh, broker trading. So XPT, Prime XPT is a middleman between us and the market. Just type Prime XPT there for me on the comments. Just type Prime XPT on the comments because I want us to really understand the role of a broker and the importance of a broker and for us to really understand what a broker does. Number one, a middleman, I said a middleman can either run away with your money. Now, what can really prevent a middleman from running away with your money? One, every broker must be regulated in South Africa. If the broker is occupying in South Africa, it must be regulated by FSCA, in which the the Prime XPT is regulated in South Africa. That is number one. Number two, not only regulated in South Africa, but it's also regulated globally, right? Regulated globally. In other words, if they are occupying in South Africa, they need to be regulated. What does this now means? This now means if you are having problems with a broker, if you're having a problem with a broker, you need to have a place where you need to go and report this broker, which is basically the FSCA. Now, the FSCA acts as a guide in terms of how you protect your money. The broker need to make sure that you are protected. FSCA need to make sure that you are protected, which is why in order for the broker to occupy in South Africa or to have services in South Africa, it must be regulated. That is number one. Number two, it is regulated globally, which is very important. Number three, which is my favorite one, Prime SPT is one of the few brokers in the world that have a crypto license. What do I mean to have a crypto license? In other words, you can also have a crypto wallet. You can also make transaction in crypto when it comes to Prime XPT. Unlike other brokers, but Prime XPT, as we are saying. Number three, I don't know what number am I at? Number five. Number five, Prime XPT is not just a broker. You can just send an email to someone you have never seen before. Not just a broker. You can just call, just go to a chat. You can basically meet the staff face to face of Prime XPT. It is very important for me. I am very old fashioned. I'm very old fashioned. I need to meet the person that I'm doing business with. I need to see the person I'm doing business with, which is why it is important also. We Prime XPT also does go around meeting their clients all over South Africa. They do go all over Africa, meeting their clients, which is very important because that also closes the gap of them also running away with your money, which is why the Prime XPT is known as a market maker broker. In other words, they take your money straight into the market. They take your money straight into the market. They only make money from the commission or from spread. If you got all of that, just type a Y for yes. If you got all of that, just type a Y for yes. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at now what is happening in the secondary market. Now, the secondary market, it is very important because we don't go to the actual market. Now, the broker now gives us platforms that we can now execute these trades. We have your MT4 platforms, you have your MT5 platforms, you have your C Trader platforms. Now, these broker now provide us with these platforms that we can now execute these trades. Same as our banks, right? Your FNB, your ABSA, they provide us with all of these apps, your banking app for you to make transactions. Because the only bank that we have in South Africa, it is the Reserve Bank. Now, ABSA, FNB, all these other institutions act as a middleman between you and your money. No, between you and the actual bank. Now, they also provide you with platforms for you to make these transactions. Same with the broker as well. They provide you with these platforms where you can now execute all of these trades. Now, in the secondary market, which is known as a derivative market, I like to call it the financial markets. Now, within this market, let me just erase everything here. Within this market, there are market that falls under it. Number one, we have what we call CMDs, right? Which is basically commodities, right? If you understand commodities, commodities are things. Commodities are just products. A laptop is a commodity. A pencil is a commodity. Airports is a commodity. A chair is a commodity. Gold is a commodity. Sugar is a commodity. Coffee is a commodity. A car is a commodity. So I really want us to really understand what is a commodity, right? What is a commodity? So in order for us to understand that's how one can trade commodities, we need to understand demand and supply first, right? We need to understand demand and supply first. Let me ask this question to everyone. Which season do we buy coffee more? Which season do we buy coffee more? Just type for me there on the comment. It is winter, right? It is winter. But what I want us to really understand is the price of coffee in winter, it is up there. The price of coffee in winter, it is very expensive. Coffee in winter is very expensive. So what we have been doing all along is we've been buying high and selling low, right? Now, let's say you are now a trader. Let's say you're now a trader. You now understand that in winter, the price of coffee is up there. Now, you are now in the financial market. You are now an investor. You are now a trader. You are now a business person. Which season should you buy coffee? Which season should you buy coffee? Yes, Brian, in summer, right? Why in summer? Because in summer, the price of coffee it is cheap. The price of coffee is cheap. Yes, Tolile. The price of coffee it is cheap. Now, as time goes by, remember we are buying and selling the movement value. So as time goes by, as the market keeps on moving, going up, as the market keeps on going up, going up, going up, what is happening with us is we are now making money because you bought low and you now about to sell high. But this now makes sense because you now understand seasons, the times, in order for you when to execute certain trades. Now, apart from this one, we have what you call the stock market, right? The stock market, when we speak about stocks, we speak about companies. We are speaking about companies, we're speaking about shares, you know. And one thing I want us to look at, if we go back to lockdown, if we go back to lockdown and we have understood trading, we've understood this thing we call the financial market, would have made a lot of money during lockdown. Why? It's because before lockdown, we would have sat down and we'd be like, if we go to lockdown, a lot of companies are going to make money, a lot of companies are going to lose money. How? We look at demand and supply and we are like, okay, if I'm sitting at home, I'm not going anywhere. What am I doing at home? I'm on my cell phone, I'm on my laptop, I'm watching TV. Who is making money? Which company is making money? If I am on my cell phone, Meta is making money because I am WhatsApping, Instagram, Facebook. Meta as a company made a lot of money. I am buying data. Telcom, Cell C, MTN, they made a lot of money because I need to buy more data. Who's making money? Apple, because I need more devices. I am watching TV. Netflix made a lot of money. MultiChoice made a lot of money. Samsung made a lot of money. Why? Is because we are on lockdown. We want all of these things that we are using on lockdown. I need to now work from home. Zoom made a lot of money. Guys, I hope I'm making sense. But now I'm not going anywhere. I'm not traveling anywhere. What's going to happen to traveling agencies? They're going to go down, right? What happened to Mango Airways? It went down. What happened to SAA? It went down. What happened to British Airways? It went down. What happened to Hilton Hotel? They started closing down. What happened to traveling companies? They went down. What happened to petroleum companies? The stocks went down. Sasol went down because we're not traveling, we're not going anywhere, we're not buying petrol. What happened to the price of petrol as a commodity? It went down. Guys, if I'm making sense, just type Y for yes. Just type Y for yes. So now you now understand times, seasons, demand, supply. You also have another market which a lot of South Africa likes right now in this year. I'm not sure if I spell it right, but yeah, I call it what it is. Now, in this series, when you now take a group of stocks, you group them together to form one index. For example, you take, for example, Nasdaq. Nasdaq is made up of 101 tech companies, which Google and Google Plus, you now have it right there. Now, if you look at the stocks during lockdown that went up, they also caused Nasdaq to go up because Meta is part of Nasdaq. When you look at um, Amazon, is part of Nasdaq. You look at Tesla, part of Amazon. You look at Microsoft, part of um, Nasdaq, which is why we saw also Nasdaq going up. Why? You look at the overall performance of the stocks inside this industry and you saw it going up. And you saw it going up. Now, we also have another market which most of us like a lot, which is called the Forex market. Now, the Forex market is basically buying and selling compared currencies, buying and selling the movement of compared currencies. You know, is the market going up? Is the market coming down? Who's got more strength? Who's losing strength? Is the dollar gaining strength versus uh, the rand? You know, we look at all of these things just to also determine the movement of the currency. Then we have the last one, which I like to call it the crypto market. The crypto market, which is basically an online currency, no economy, no government, no one is basically controlling this one. But it's just a matter of us just looking at demand and supply of your Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these other cryptocurrencies that we have right there. So if you are looking what or in terms of what we just did right now, we now got to understand what trading is without looking at a chart. Without looking at a chart, if you are that person saying, "Mr. Vuyana, this completely makes sense. This completely makes sense. Just type 100 for me. If this completely makes sense, just type 100 for me. If you are still lost, just give me a zero. If you are still lost, just give me a zero. Because I want us to really understand what is trading, right? Now, there's different ways of now analyzing a chart. There's different ways of us analyzing these charts. There's different ways of analyzing the market. One is we now have what we call the fundamental analysis. The fundamental analysis is just the whole thing we have been doing so far, looking at events and looking at certain things that have been happening and looking at seasons and times that is based on fundamentals, looking at macro and macroeconomical factors. We look at economical issues, social issues, environmental issues. All of these things, they actually form or also influence what we call the fundamental analysis, right? Now, let me make it clear to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, fundamentals don't move the market, but what moves the market, it is me and you, because we are the demand and we are the supply. The second part of analyzing the market is we have what we call sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis, it is also another method that I want us to really understand a lot, right? It is a method where I want us to understand a lot because a lot of people confuse sentiments. A lot of people confuse um, um, with sentiments with fundamental, right? Now, a sentiment is basically the study of demand and supply, the study of demand and supply, and also the cause of demand and the cause of supply. Let me just make a simple example. Let's say I'm the best trader in the world, right? Everyone knows that Lakhe Mvuyana is the best trader in the world. Now I go live on TV, right? I first place a buy trade on Bitcoin. I go live on TV and I influence everyone to take a decision. I go live on TV and I say, you know what, guys, I am buying Bitcoin, right? I'm buying Bitcoin. Definitely a lot of people are gonna go and buy Bitcoin, right? Because I'm now causing demand for Bitcoin. When I'm causing demand for Bitcoin, a lot of people are now gonna go and buy into it. Let me just also make an example. Guys, I'm not planting anything in your head right now. Let's say I'm the president of the country, right? Let's say I'm the president of the country. Like I'm one day, I invest in sanitizers, make sure I invest in company that manufacture sanitizer. I come one day and I say, guys, in order for you to be safe from COVID, make sure you sanitize. Make sure you sanitize. I come later on that year, I invest in two other companies, Pfizer, JJ, and I come back later on. I say, guys, in order for you to be safe from COVID, make sure you vaccine. You choose Pfizer or you choose J&J. It is now called sentiment. It's called sentiment because I'm now causing a bit of demand. I'm now causing a bit of supply, right? Now we have this other method of analyzing the market, which is called the technical analysis. The technical analysis. When it comes to technical analysis, we understand that history repeats itself. History repeats itself. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means if I say you study me for 3 months, right? You study me for 3 months, you would definitely see that like is repeating almost a certain things, right? Let's say I wake up at 5 a.m. By 7, I'm driving to work. By 1, I'm eating. By 5, I'm driving back home. By 10, I'm sleeping. The following day, I wake up at 5. 7, I'm driving to work. 1, I'm eating. 5, I'm driving back. 10, I am sleeping. Same thing also the following day. 5, I wake up. 7, I'm driving to work. 1, I'm eating. 5, I'm coming back. 10, I am sleeping. So I do this for 3 months. Definitely, you're going to tell me what I'm going to do for next 3 weeks. So that's what we look at. We look at historical movements to now determine what's going to happen in the future. And is now technical analysis. Now, technical analysis. If you're ready for us to go to technical analysis, just type let's go on the comments. Just type let's go on the comments. Just type let's go on the comments. Now, a lot of traders like to trade technical analysis. Now, a lot of traders like to trade technical analysis. There are three most important things that one needs to understand when it comes to technical analysis. You need to understand the trend, a turning point, entry point, TTE. I call it TTE. Just type TTE on the comment. Trend, turning point, entry point. Trend, turning point, entry point. Why is this very important? Trend, turning point, entry point. Now, you must first find a trend in order for you to find a turning point. When you have a turning point, you can easily find an entry point. In other words, if I need to drive to Egypt, I now know the trend is I need to go north, right? I need to go to north. I need to take north, right? Now, after that, I need to understand turning points. Where do I turn? Where do I turn? Where do I turn? In every turn I enter, in every turn I enter, in every turn I enter, in every turn I enter because I now understand the overall direction. What am I saying? You can't leave your house without knowing where you are going. When you now know where you are going, you now know how to navigate around before you get to wherever you are going. You turn, you enter. A turning point, you enter. Turning point, you enter. A trend, turning point, entry point. A trend, turning point, entry point. Trend, turning point, entry point. TTE. Now, there are two types of trends that I want us to also look at. One, we have an uptrend, right? And we have a downtrend, right? Now, how do you see an uptrend? How do you see an uptrend? Very important. An uptrend, market makes higher highs and higher lows, right? Market makes higher highs and higher lows. In a downtrend, the markets need to make lower highs and lower lows. What does this now mean? What does this now mean? In an uptrend, look at this. We have a low, then we have a high somewhere there, right? Market goes down, it makes a low, but this low is higher than the previous one. Then we call it a higher low. Market goes up, it makes a high, but this high is higher than the previous one. Then we now call it a higher high. And we said in an uptrend, market must make higher highs and higher lows. In a downtrend, look at this. Look at this. We now have a high right there, right? We have a low right there. Market goes up, it makes a high, but this high is lower than the previous one. Market goes all the way down, makes a low, but lower than the previous one. We now have lower highs and lower lows. That's how we see a downtrend. Very important, ladies and gentlemen, very important. We don't trade what we think, we trade what we see. We don't trade what we trade what we see. Let me repeat this. We don't trade what we think, we trade what we see. Now, you must be able to see higher highs, you must be able to see higher lows in order for us to have an uptrend. So, downtrend, you must see lower highs and lower lows in order for us to have a downtrend, right? Now, once you now have seen an uptrend, which is now a trend, right? The second thing you must understand is a turning point. Now, there's a lot of methods one can use to find a turning point. There's a lot of things you can use to find a turning point. You can use price action. You can use smart money concepts. You can use a lot of methods that one can use in order for me to find a turning point. Today, we're just going to speak about a tool which is called a Fibonacci. Yeah, Fibonacci retracement tool, right? Now, why is this tool very important in this case? We normally say the market moves 100%, it pulls back 50%, right? It moves 100%, it's back 50%, right? Let's look at the other side. We say market moves 100%, pull back 50%, right? Moves 100%, pulls back 50%. Now, the issue here is we don't know where is this 50%, right? We don't know where is this 50% because currently we haven't we haven't put in our ruler in order for us to understand where is this 50%. So what do? You take this tool that we call a Fibonacci retracement tool, or you can call it our ruler. What we do, you measure, you put your Fibonacci from a low to your high. If we are going up, if you are coming down, you take it from your high to your low, right? Remember, we are looking for 50%, right? So you put the Fibonacci because we're looking for 50%. Now you see, okay, there's our 50%. There's our 50%, right? You measure here as well, and you can see there's our 50%. But one thing we must always acknowledge, ladies and gentlemen, is we are not 100%. We are not 100% because people who are trading, the market is me and you. So we also make mistakes. So you must also leave space for disappointment. So we say between 50 and 61.8, the market might turn somewhere here. We say between 50 and 61.8, the market might turn somewhere there. In other words, in this case, I put my ruler in order for me to see my turning point. I put my ruler in order for me to see my turning point. So what needs to happen now is market need to go straight to my turning point. Market must go to my turning point. Even if it touches my 50, it is still a good point. Or 61.8. So between 50 and 61.8, that is our turning point, right? So in order for me to find an entry point, boss, I now have a trend. I now have a turning point. What I now need to have is an entry point. But then, how do we now find an entry point? Wait for the market to exit 50 going up. If it's an uptrend, if it's a downtrend, wait for the market to exit 50 coming down, and you can either buy or sell depending on whether it's an uptrend or downtrend. If you got that, just type a Y or yes. Make sure you take a screenshot of what you see right here. Make sure you take a screenshot of what you see at this point. Make sure you take a screenshot of what you see at this point. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. But then Vienna, we see you speaking about all of this. We see you speaking about um, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Um, can you please show us on the charts, right? Can you please show us on the chart? I'm just going to go straight to a chart that's, I know it do definitely make sense to some of us currently, right? I know it's going to make sense to us right now. I know it's going to make sense to us right now. Okay, let me just share my screen. Let me just share my screen. If you can see my screen right now, if you can see my screen, just type let's go. If you can see my screen right now, just type let's go. So looking at what we have here, the market has been going up, right? Market has been going up so far. As you can see, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. But there's few things that I want us to also understand in this case. There's also a few things I want us to understand in this case, right? One, we have right there at the top, that is a high, right? And then market went down, we had a low right there, right? Market also formed what we call a lower high in this case, right? Market also form what is called a lower low in this case. What trend are we having right now? What trend are we having right now? What trend are we having right now? 100% a downtrend, right? So we can now see that, okay, we now have a downtrend, right? We now have a downtrend right here. So a trend that we have is basically a downtrend, right? We have a downtrend. The biggest question is, can we see it? Yes, I can, right? Step number two, turning point. How do you find a turning point? Fibonacci. Fibonacci, you take Fibonacci from your high all the way down to your low, right? There's my low right there. There's my low right there. Let me just zoom in so that we can see what is happening right there. So we want the market to go between 50 and 61.8, right? We want the market to go to 50 and 61.8, right? And we can clearly see that closer, market came closer to 51.8. Remember, we don't trade what we think, we trade what we see. You can use this strategy on any time frame, right? Now, what we are waiting for on this Nasdaq charts, as you can see, Nasdaq, Nas 100. So we are currently waiting for the market to go up to that point, right? We are currently waiting for the market to go up to that point, a turning point, before we can sell and go down with the market, right? We now have this point, right? So what are we really waiting for in this case? We are currently waiting for the market to gain strength, get to our fib zone, exit this point, and we can now sell the market going down. Now we can sell the market going down. I'm not sure if that makes sense. If that makes sense, just give me a Y for yes. If that makes sense, just give me a Y for yes. Great stuff, great stuff, great stuff, great stuff, great stuff. I now see that Y for yes. I now see Y for yes, Y for yes, Y for yes, Y for yes. Great stuff. Now, here's the beautiful thing now. Here's the beautiful thing now is once you now understand, once you now understand this theory, once you now understand the 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 strategy, you can now play around, right? You can now play around. Someone is asking themselves right there, but then Rihanna, you are saying that the market needs to move and go up there, right? You are saying the market needs to move and go up, right? You are saying that the market must move and go up. As we are looking at this this chart, right? Why can't we take a buy here? Because we know exactly we need to go to a turning point. We need to go to a turning point. And that's where we now have risk traders, right? That's where we now have traders that are able to take risk because you now understand your strategy. You now understand where we need to go with the market. You now understand what needs to happen in this case. And my biggest question to everyone right now, do you guys think we should buy or should we wait for our sell? Those who are saying buy, just type buy. Those who are saying wait for a sell, just type wait for me there. I see some buys, I see some sells. I see a wait, I see a buy, I see a wait. Wait for a price to move up to a Fibonacci. Wait for a sell. Wait for a sell. Wait for a sell. Okay. This is when we now have different traders. This is when we now have different traders because we now understand we now understand that the markets need to go up. I saw someone saying you can put this as a sell order. What if the market now goes further up, right? What if the market goes further up doesn't tend there? Those who are saying buy, who are saying buy, let's just do something with you. For those who are saying, you know what, Mr. Mvuyana, let's look at these charts and let's look at buying at this point because definitely we are going to the fib zone, right? Definitely we are going to the fib zone. Why don't we wait for the buys, right? Why don't you wait for the buys? Don't worry. I'm definitely gonna go in with you as we speak. I'm definitely gonna go in with you as we speak because we need to go up to the fib zone, right? So we need to go up between 50 and 61.8. But that is a risky trade. That is a risky trade. But better be safe than sorry. Now we have traders that are able to take risks. We now have traders that are able to take risk. Then we are saying, okay, although they are saying, Mr. Mvuyana, I think let's look at buying this point. Right? Let's look at buying at this point because we need to go to the 50%, right? We need to go to the 50%. I'm definitely doing it with you. As you can see, this is basically a live account, a trading account. I am XPT, as you can see right there. Here are my trades, as you can see, entering right there. There's my buy trades. Why? We need to go up to that 50%. I don't mind taking profit right there at our 50%. As you can see, there's my take profit because we need to go to our 50%, right? Remember that. Now, remember, this is now a risky trade. This is now a risky trade. Why not? Why not? Because we are going, we said we need to go up to that point because the market need to go and retrace. Market need to go and retrace. As you can see, I just went straight to profit. I am straight into profit. Where's my um no, this is the wrong thing. As you can see, I'm just moving in and out of profit. I'm moving in and out of profit. There's my trades right there. You can see I'm moving in and out of profit, moving in and out of profit, but this is just My trade right there, I'm already in. I'm already in just about 20 something dollars behind. But I understand we need to go up to a point. We need to definitely go up on that point. If you've also taken that trade with me, if you've also taken that trade with me, just type I'm in on the comment section. If you are in on the trade, just type I'm in on the comment section with me. Just type I'm in on the comment section. What made us take this risky trade? We understand few things in this case, right? Understand few things in this case. What are these few things? We need to go up, right? We need to go up to the turning point right there. So meantime, why not take a bit of sense going up, take few dollars going up, then there you are waiting for a bigger trade to enter. Just waiting for a bigger trade to enter. Let me just go back and make a simple example. What do we mean by this? And just go to USD. I'm gonna go to my I'm gonna go to my monthly chart. I want to make this make sense, right? We don't trade what we think, we trade what we see. This is basically the USD, right? Let's say you were analyzing or you were trading USD back then, right? I just rewinded USD back a bit, right? Now, the important of we don't trade what we think, we trade what we see is if you look at this chart going all the way up, that is basically the movement, right? Market came down right there, right? So in other words, we had a low and we have a high, right? Market made a higher low. It's supposed to make a higher high to an uptrend, but the market made a lower high, came down, made a higher low. But what we want is the market to make higher highs or higher lows in order for us to basically see that we are having an uptrend. Market must make higher highs and higher lows, or it must make lower lows and lower highs. In this case, we have none because we don't have the market forming both. So what needs to happen is we wait for the market to give us a trend. We wait for the market to give us a trend. Wait for the market to give you a trend. We don't trade what we think, we trade what we see. We don't trade what we think, we trade what we see. Look at this. We want the market to form a higher high, right? There's our market right there. It formed a higher high, right? This is a low, this is a high, right? Market made higher lows. As you can see, it's just made higher highs, right? Just made higher highs. I see Sabonga, you are in. Perfect. So in this case, you can now see that this is a clear uptrend, right? You have higher highs and higher lows, right? What next? Put a Fibonacci from your low to your high, right? Why? We want the market to come down to a turning point between 50 and 61.8. Between 50 and 61.8. That's where we want the market to go, right? So you are now waiting for the market to basically get between 50 and 61.8, right? We want the market to get between 50 and 61.8. Well, between 50 and 61.8, that's where our turning point is. That's where our turning point is. You can see the market is moving up and down. slowly moving up and down, slowly moving up and down. As you can see, slowly moving up and down. But it needs to come between 50 and 61.8. The market needs to come between 50 and 61.8. Currently, it seems like, it's not going in there. But remember the rule. Here is the market between 50 and 61.8, right? It is within our fib zone. Market is within our fib zone between 50 and 61.8. A trend, uptrend, turning point. We have a turning point. What are we really waiting for? We are waiting for the market to give us an entry point in this case. Here is the market closing above 50, right? Here's the market close above 50. What do? We buy, right? What do? We buy. Let's say you put a take profit. Let's say I put my profit somewhere up there. Let's say I put my stop loss somewhere down here. When you place my buy trade, what did I see in this case? What did I see in this case? A trend is an uptrend. Turning point, yes, the market went to the trading to, or the market went to the turning point. Entry point, yes, the market closed above 50 going up. Wait for what? I've got nothing to wait for. I enter my trade. I put a buy trade. I close my laptop. I continue my day. I go to work. I continue with my life. Trend, turning point, entry point. Trend, turning point, entry point. Just enjoying my day, enjoying my week, enjoying my year. Remember, we don't trade what we think, we trade what we see. We don't trade what we think, we trade what we see. Here's my trade right there, still running. What did I see? A trend, turning point, entry point. Trend, turning point, entry point. Take profit hit. Take profit hit. I'm done. Happy. Just made someone's pension. And I'm done. If that makes sense, ladies and gentlemen, if that makes sense, just type Dunamis on the comment right there. Just type Dunamis on the comments right there. Just type Dunamis on the comments right there. Great stuff. Great stuff. And 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 the beautiful thing being part of Dunamis FX, ladies and gentlemen, is even if you don't know what you're doing, or even if you are a busy person, let's say I'm a busy person, I don't know how to trade, I don't know how to analyze, I don't know how to make money. I don't know how to make money. Look at this. Look at this. Already there was a trade that we entered on this chart, right? Already there was a trade we entered on this chart. Look at this chart. What does this chart do? It tells you where to buy, where to sell. Look at this. The only thing you need to know, I need to know how to read. It tells me when to sell. We sold somewhere here, we took profit long time ago. We sold here, we took profit long time ago. It gives you a stop loss. It gives you a stop loss. I don't know how to trade. I don't know how to analyze. The only thing I know how to do is I know how to read. Once the market get to this level, I sell. Here's my take profit depending on how greedy you are. Take profit one, take profit two, or take profit three. For me, I like take profit one. You can put it on any chart. Let's say gold, right? let's say gold. Let me just zoom in on gold. Let's say earlier on you wanted to trade gold. Look at this. It told us to sell gold earlier on. Look at this. Hit my take profit. There's my stop loss right there. Well, let me just put it on my 1 hour so it's gonna make sense. It told me to sell here. Market did not go to my stop loss. It just went straight from this sell, straight all the way down. Hit my take profit. Done for the day. I don't know how to trade. I only know how to read. I don't know how to trade. I only know how to read. That's basically what we are looking at. And the biggest question I know someone is asking themselves, I really want to be part of these guys. I really want to trade with these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, to be part of um this dunamis effect, to be part of what we are doing, ladies and gentlemen, it is simple, right? It is very simple. Let me just tell you what we offer. We offer what we call a trading floor for the whole year. In other words, we trade with you from Monday to Thursday. We trade with you live from Monday to Thursday on Zoom twice a day. 3 p.m., we are trading live with you. 8 p.m., we are also trading live with you. 3 p.m., we are trading live with you. 8 p.m., we are trading live with you Monday to Thursday. Friday, 7 p.m. for the whole year, we are teaching you education. We have our education program, and sometimes we will have this education on Saturday where we also gonna drag hours where you're gonna get so much knowledge for value, right? So we have our education for the whole year. Not only that, we also have our groups as well, where we are able to look at the chart that we spoke about yesterday. Let's say we said, remember on Nasdaq, we're waiting for the market to go back to our fib zone, right? Now, the market is currently sitting at the fib zone. You can basically now start and enter and basically be part of it. You can basically be part of that group. You can basically analyze the market with us and trade with us. Now, the beautiful thing about being part of the trading floor is you are able to make money while you are learning. You are able to make money while you are learning. So basically, to get all of that, it's a simple membership fee that cost 10,000 rand. A simple 10,000 rand. However, ladies and gentlemen, however, the beautiful thing is you can get all of that for nothing. You can simply get all of that for nothing. What do I mean? Just type RFF on the comment section for me there. Just type RFF on the comment section for me there. Just type RFF on the comment section for me there. Now, the middleman said to us, the broker said to us, Prime XP Team, Mvuyana, I understand that your time is valuable. We understand that you are running a business, you're not running charity. You take care of the client and we take care of you. You take care of the client and we take care of you. What does this now mean? What does this RFF mean? RFF stands for register your account with Prime XPT, pick up that account with Prime XPT, and fund that account as lower as $10. I'm not sure if you guys understand this. Open your account. There's a link right there at the bottom. There's a link right there. Open your account using the link that we provide. Number two is you make sure that account is fully figured. Number three, you fund that account as little as $10. Now, this special, this is basically a special, and this special ends next month, the 15th. It ends on the 15th of next month. This special is going to run until 15th of next month. What do? You register your account, you figure your account, and you fund your account. The link is right at our comment section, and you become part of what we are doing. You can start from $10, but also, $10, you can't make that much. You can also push it to $100. You can also push it to whatever point that you want to put it, but you definitely gonna trade with us. Let me see those who are saying, Mvuyana, I'm in. Let me say those who are saying, Mvuyana, I'm in. I'm definitely want to trade with you. Just type let's go on the comment section. 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 Those who are saying no, you know what, Mr. Mvuyana, $10 is not much. $10 is just a little below 200 rand, or let's say 200 rand. 200 rand to get value that is worth 10,000 rand. I'm definitely in. I'm definitely in. Those who are saying, Mvuyana, I want to definitely be part of this. There's also our WhatsApp right there. There's also our WhatsApp. Make sure you get that WhatsApp number 067. Let me just also put it on the whiteboard so that we can understand. 076 245 1992. Dunamis. 076 245 1992. You're definitely gonna trade live with us. You're definitely gonna make money with us. Now listen, I'm not done. Listen, I'm not done. I am saying right now, to everyone who opens their account, figure their account, and fund their account between today and tomorrow, I'm gonna give you the system that you saw there completely for free. That system that you saw there, it cost 15,000 rand. Unfortunately, we can't just give it out to everyone. But if you register your account tonight or tomorrow and you make sure it's fully figured and you make sure it is funded, we will give you that system. We will give you that system. Make sure the full RFF process is done. We will definitely give you that system. We'll definitely give you that system. If you are up and ready for this process, just give us a WhatsApp and just type let's go, or you can type I'm in on WhatsApp. Just type let's go, or you can type I'm in on WhatsApp, and make sure you open that account using our link. Using our link. Now, I know we're gonna have people who are saying things, Lana. I want to be part of. I want you to train me one on one. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to one on one, I don't have time for everyone. I don't have time for everyone. However, I do have two spots available for the one on one. I do have two spots for people who are ready for one on one, in which the one on one is basically for for the whole year. We have Vuyo. He's also got 3 spots available. I've got 2 spots available for the one-on-one. And our one-on-one is basically 15,000 rand. You don't have to pay 15,000 at once. You can basically pay it as time goes by. You can start with 5,000 rand, and also pay 2,000 or whatever amount until you reach 15,000 rand. However, that's what we have. Remember, a trend, turning point, entry point. A trend, turning point, entry point. and we make money. And secondly, remember, this special ends next month, the 15th. Next month, the 15th. After that, unfortunately, you basically need to pay 10,000 Rand to be part of our membership. The only thing you have to do is RFF register, Fika, fund your account with Prime XPT, and we definitely gonna trade with you, teach you how to trade, and make money with you and make money with you. For those who open their account and fund their account and figure their account between today and tomorrow, we're gonna give you the system for free, which it costs 15,000 rand. And for those who want the system after this or after the special, you can just pay 15,000 rand once off. Um, I'm not sure if I have any questions. If there's any question, just make sure you raise your hand or even just type for me there on the comment section. Um, I am ready to take questions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if I've answered almost everyone. How much risk per trade do you recommend? I I I normally target 1%. I normally target 1% of my account. Does Prime XPT use a rand deposits and withdrawal? Yes. You can put your rands right there. However, currently they don't have a rand account. In other words, you are trading and you're looking at in rands. Prime XPT has a dollar account. You can just open there, put in your $10, put in your $100, put in your $50, put in your $1,000, and we start trading and making money with you. Mind you, if you put $10, you can just say we make 10% of our balance for the whole month. You have just made $1 for the whole month, you know. But it also gives you the advantage to not miss this opportunity. So if I find an account, I'm going to get a free access to the trading with you. Yes, definitely. If you find your account open, you find your account open, you figure you find your account, you're definitely gonna trade with us every day, and make money with you. So you need to open your account. You need to figure. You need to fund that account. You know, and not miss on the special. And to everyone, happy Heritage Day. Here's our WhatsApp number right there on the comment section. We're gonna help you as you speak after this session. We're definitely gonna help you um, get you started, get you sorted. How much in rent do you need it for? Just just 200 rand, just a little as 200 rand, Sebonga. We can definitely get you started. We can definitely start by making money with you. They start trading with you. However, that's it from me. What times are the training sessions? Our trading floors is 3 p.m. every day and also 8 p.m. every day. Our education on Friday start at 7 p.m. Start at 7 p.m. Start at 7 p.m. Otherwise, if you got everything we spoke about today and you understood everything, you got everything right there, just type Prime XBT on the comments. Just type Prime XBT on the comments. Just type Prime XBT on the comments. Make sure you get our WhatsApp number. Make sure you click on our make sure you click on the link to open that account. And for me and Dunamis FX, thank you very much for being part of this session, ladies and men. I can't wait to see you on the other side. Happy Heritage Day. see you guys. Thank you and goodbye.